In the competitive world of hip-hop, diss tracks are everywhere, but if there's one person you don't want to test, it's the undefeated career-killing battle rap champion, Eminem. That hasn't stopped some MCs from trying. Some even dragged his daughter Haley into it, and let's just say they all regretted it. Eminem has a reputation for brutal, unpredictable battle raps. His cadence, wit, and self-deprecation make him dangerous. He's taken on pop royalty, politicians, and some of rap's biggest names.
I just don't want to say too much more than that, but he should be ashamed of himself, what he's doing.
Coming up in Detroit's underground scene, he had to prove himself, especially as one of the only white rappers. People claim Em's never battled a worthy opponent, but that's just not true. He's destroyed plenty, but thanks to Em, none of them are the names they once were. Take Benzino, former rapper, the Source exec, who thought he could take Em on. Spoiler, he couldn't.
Would never claim to be no Ray Benzino, an 83-year-old fake Pacino.
One of Em's most vicious diss tracks, Nail in the Coffin, ended Benzino's career. His beef with Eminem haunts him to this day, causing even difficulties in his relationship with his own daughter, rapper Coi Leray. Tough break.
For 22 years, every time I do an interview, they ask me about Eminem. The fuck you want me to do?
Eminem doesn't clap back at every diss. If he did, quite frankly, he'd never get anything done. But there's one line no one should ever cross: Haley.
Yo, I can't sing, but I feel like singing.
Throughout his career, one thing stayed constant: his daughter, Haley Jade. She's inspired some of his biggest hits: Mockingbird, When I'm Gone, and Haley's Song, and even some of his darkest, like 97 Bonnie and Clyde.
Mockingbird. Every time I hear it at all, I audibly sobbed. The older I get, the less I can listen to any of the songs.
Little baby, don't you cry.
Some saw Haley as Em's weakness. Big mistake. She's not a vulnerability, she's his trigger, and a few unlucky rappers found that out the hard way.
You sound like a bitch. Shut the fuck up. Your fans become your haters. You done? Beard's weird. All right. Yelling at the mic. Weird beard. Doing this once.
One of Em's most infamous beefs was with Machine Gun Kelly, but this wasn't some random 2018 feud. It started way earlier. Back in 2012, MGK, then 22, tweeted that 16-year-old Haley was hot as fuck. Eminem saw it, he noted it, and for now, he let it slide.
I'm a father. One, I didn't know how old she was. You know, I didn't feel like it was disrespectful, but I'm a father. I have a 9-year-old daughter. I get it, 100%. It was a silly comment to have started all of this.
But MGK kept poking. He whined about being blacklisted from Shade 45, threw subliminals in several freestyles, and kept Em's name in interviews. Then in 2018, Em finally responded on Not Alike on his 10th studio album, Kamikaze.
If you wanna come at me with a submachine gun, and I'm talking to you, but you already know who the fuck you are, Kelly.
MGK fired back with Rap Devil, a play on Em's rap god, calling Em old, washed up, and of all things, mocking his beard. It took audiences by surprise because, well, it wasn't bad.
They told me you mad about a tweet. You wanted me to say sorry. I swear to God I ain't believe them. Please say it ain't so. The big bad bully of the rap game can't take a fucking joke.
Okay, so it's not a bad diss, but against Eminem it was still like bringing a breadstick to a knife fight. Em clapped back with Killshot, a much harder hitting track which tested the weakness of MGK's disses before he'd even started rapping.
Shut the fuck up. Your fans become your haters. You done? Beard's weird. All right. Yelling at the mic. Weird beard. Doing this once.
He even made sure MGK had taken note of the fate of his previous victims.
Kelly, they'll be putting your name next to Cha, next to Benzino. Die, motherfucker, like the last motherfucker saying Haley in vain, alien brain.
MGK stayed salty about it, but never clapped back. Instead, MGK ditched rap and went full pop punk on his next album. Coincidence? You decide.
It didn't feel like a diss to me, it just felt like pitiful.
Stick around as we break down even more rappers who went up against Eminem and lost badly.
This next song is dedicated to the memory of Eric Schroeder.
Flashing back in time to 1999, former House of Pain rapper Everlast began a beef with the up-and-coming rapper at the time because he claimed Eminem had ignored him backstage at a concert. Talk about high school.
And kind of tried to express, hey man, congratulations, it was during his first album, and he just was a rude little punk.
Feeling slighted, Everlast hit at M subliminally on a feature for Dilated Peoples.
Cock my hammer, spit a comment like Haley. A buck
on ones that act shady.
Eminem caught wind of this and decided to drop the track I Remember as a B-side on the D12 single Shit on You.
I knew you was jealous from the day that I met you. I said you, cause I give respect, I pet you. I'm even liked better by your niece and nephew.
Eminem dissed the former rapper turned folk blues singer for being old and washed up.
You sober and bored, huh? I know. About to be 46 years old, dog. Talking about, I'ma call up Trick. Man, you sound like a bitch.
Taking jabs at the fact he'd had open heart surgery. Everlast was looking bitter and out of touch, and his next few moves didn't help. Eminem was not happy that he'd mentioned Haley's name in his verse on Eardrums Pop, but the House of Pain rapper actually claimed that he didn't know Eminem's daughter's name.
I say something about Haley's comment at that. I didn't know his daughter's name was Haley, right? But he got very upset about that part, and then...
But the damage was already done, and Everlast made a grave mistake. He doubled down on M's obvious anger when he released Whitey's Revenge. At the time, Eminem was on probation, and so Everlast took the opportunity to make a jab at him, saying that if he went to prison, he'd be sure to have sex with his wife and look after his kid.
Or if you go to prison while you doing your bed, I'll look in on your lady and do things for your kid.
Big mistake. Eminem did not take this lightly, and in an interview with Talib Kweli, Everlast himself said he regretted it.
He was about to go to jail or something, and I said, I'll look in on your kid when, drop, it's like that kind of like little jab.
Right.
I wouldn't have done that if, like, at this age as a parent,
right,
2 dogs. I wouldn't have done that part.
Right.
That's the only part of that side that I would say, like, I regret that part.
Talk about my little girl in a song again, I'ma kill you, I'ma kill you.
To watch your mouth, because you talked about my little girl, which is, talk about my mother all you want, talk about my wife, talk about whatever you want to say. The one thing that I hold sacred to me is my little girl.
If you ever needed infallible proof that mentioning Haley in a diss track is the fastest way to tank your career, look no further than Ja Rule. Once a chart-topping rapper, now, well, let's just say his biggest headline in recent years was the Fyre Festival scam. But before that disaster, his worst decision was coming after Eminem's daughter. Ja Rule had a long-standing beef with 50 Cent, and when Eminem signed 50 to shady aftermath, Ja thought it'd be a good idea to take shots at M too. I think you'll notice something all these rappers have in common is their poor decision-making skills.
But he's a talented man as well. He seems to be doing very well for himself.
Not anymore.
Ja Rule didn't subliminally, subtly, or accidentally diss. He maliciously and intentionally went after Eminem's family. Ja Rule was an ex-gangster turned pop R&B rapper that was topping the charts between 1998 and 2003. He was predicted to be a legend of the rap game, but he just couldn't hold his tongue. Ja cut his teeth coming up in the industry with rappers like Jay-Z and DMX, which probably gave him the arrogance that would be his downfall.
I've never seen the industry turn on a person the way they turned on you.
Ja's beef with fellow Queens rapper 50 Cent had transferred to Eminem, and Eminem had subtly jabbed at being ready for Ja on a diss against Benzino.
I'm ready, you, all you, time to get it.
Ja then responded with the infamous diss against both 50 and M, Loose Change. This is where Ja took his fatal step when he rapped.
Damn, you claim your mother's a crackhead and Kim is a known slut, so what's Haley gonna be when she grows up?
Now, if you learned anything so far, you know this is basically asking for a new career.
Ja saying things about me, then all of a sudden comes out his face and says a line about my daughter. And when it got to that level, that's when it got crazy.
Even Haley had something to say about this one.
Haley, what do you want to be when you grow up, baby?
I don't know. But I don't want to grow up to be like Ja Rule's little dirty-ass kid.
Eminem, 50 Cent, Busta Rhymes, and Obi Trice all teamed up for Hail Mary and Do Re Mi, Haley's Revenge, and Ja Rule never recovered. Eminem didn't just respond, he obliterated him, and on Haley's Revenge, he only had to rap the hook. As Eminem's career skyrocketed, Ja Rule's plummeted, and it was pretty clear to see whose side not only fans had taken, but even the industry.
We couldn't go to award shows.
Yeah.
They would make calls like, well,
we got 50 and we can't be in there because
if Murder Inc. is in the building, they're not going to perform this year. M's not going to perform.
Ja Rule's career took a nosedive into the abyss. 50 Cent kept applying pressure, and soon enough, Ja went from a rap superstar to, wasn't he that guy from 2002?
Nigga ain't in his right mind going against me.
So if you're thinking of beefing with Eminem or his crew, don't. And if you're really thinking of mentioning Haley, just start updating your resume now. But this isn't the last audiences have heard from the Ja Rule versus Eminem beef verse, so stick around if you want to hear more.
pull that truck around, niggas is ducking clips. Hi, I'm the Black Slim Shady.
Now, if you remember earlier, Eminem hasn't always responded to every bit of shade that's been pushed his way, and this is a prime example. The Game was a popular 2000s rapper who came up at the same time as 50 Cent and was even a part of G-Unit at a time. Despite having beefed with 50 Cent, he had always endeavored to keep Eminem's name out of his mouth.
Eminem is the only rapper that nobody ever wants a problem with, including myself, man. Eminem is like the most lyrically insane. Even when I was going at 50 and me and Dre wasn't seeing eye to eye, man, I stayed away from the white dude.
But then after Dr. Dre didn't invite The Game to play at his Super Bowl halftime show, The Game admitted to feeling disrespected. He started getting cocky in his anger, claiming on multiple podcasts and radio stations that he was a better rapper than Eminem, completely contradicting his earlier claims.
And I used to think Eminem was better than me.
What you saying right now?
In 2022, The Game released his unsuccessful album Drillmatic, which tanked and was panned by fans and critics alike. But one track which drew much controversy was the Black Slim Shady, where The Game uses Eminem's style and pokes fun at the rapper in a 10-minute long diss track. And more importantly for this video, he mentioned Hailey's name and even alluded to violence against her.
This Slim Hailey's with me and she's unharmed for now.
His forced beef with Eminem has left many fans scratching their heads. Not only is it confusing, but it is also completely one-sided. Unlike other beefs here, Eminem has not responded or mentioned The Game at all, which is almost a response in itself to say you are not worth my time. The closest a response has come was from Hailey herself trolling The Game using a soundbite from 50 Cent.
Woke up, I look at the computer say, Floyd said, fuck T.I., fuck Nelly, fuck 50. I'm like, what did he say fuck me for?
If you have stuck around this far, thank you. And as mentioned earlier, there has been some recent developments in the Eminem versus Ja Rule beef. Oh, you thought the Ja Rule and Eminem beef was over? Think again. A recently leaked unreleased diss track called Smack You has surfaced. And let's just say if Ja had any rap career left, this would have finished the job.
To the point you might as well go to shook, assume position, drop to your fucking knees and just suck this fucking ticket. I'm holding Shook responsible for the deaths of the two greatest rappers.
Shook's outside, Shook's outside. Everybody like, he was running, dropping shit.
He attacks Ja's credibility, roasts his attempts to come at Hailey, and even takes digs at Suge Knight's legal troubles. Classic M surgical precision, disrespect at maximum levels. While most rappers tiptoed around Suge's name, Eminem had no fear, openly mocking the notorious figure and calling him out.
This is when I knew Eminem was real. He's like, I don't give a fuck, man.
So why didn't it come out? Well, one theory is that Dr. Dre himself may have stepped in. Dre had already distanced himself from Suge and Death Row after years of tension, and an open war between M and Suge could have made things way worse. Dre may have told Eminem to hold back, knowing full well that Suge didn't play fair. But when it comes to family, Eminem doesn't back down. So what did we learn? Don't mention Hailey, don't cry when your career gets torched, and don't mention Hailey. What do you even think about resorting to such ploys as insulting someone's child in diss tracks? And which of the listed rappers has flopped the hardest in your opinion? Thanks for watching. Remember to smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to keep up to date on all things Slim Shady. Until next time, Stans, peace.